Hey everyone, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Ninja Gaiden Black on Master Ninja difficulty. This is Chapter 6, the Monastery. So this has a Life of the Gods right there, or bats, depending on what order you get them in. These are the exploding types, so even though you don't see them detonating over there, they're still exploding. Exploding types. So this is a very long chapter, and there's a Fiend challenge in here, and a fight with the Ryu clone. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to speak over the... Oh, here, by the way, I fast-forwarded the applications of those 9 Life of the Gods. So at this point, that box right there, that will give you 9 of 45. So that's our first health upgrade via the Life of the Gods. So cat fiends are going to be our next objective over here after we get some bats. So clear these bats, save their essence to get an attack, to get a UT on these bats. These are very tough creatures here, and you're going to have to face 50 of these guys in conjunction with 50 red ninjas for the Fiend challenge, 60-60 for 120 kills. Here, I put the karma screen up so I could... sometimes I just want to see how many there are. Normally there's like 12 of these guys. I think there's 12, 10 or 12. XXY works really well on these guys. It's just when they're all groups here. These guys on these higher difficulties, you'll see cat fiends. I think they were on very hard mode. I think they start appearing on very hard, and they're not that troublesome in the trial, in the Fiend challenge, to be honest. And it's kind of odd, but they're just not, because you can manipulate the environment, and a lot of times they're just running towards you, and you're waiting for them to fall into your UT and just sweep a lot of them up with this attack here, which is very good with the lunar. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this chapter. I think this is another Life of the Gods right here. That should be number 10. And you can't... The thing is, if you were playing Sigma, you could go over to where... in Tyron, where Muramasa's shop is, and go get the Dabalacro after you acquire the Incendiary Shurikens. By the way, for this Ryu clone fight, you definitely want to have your Lunar up to level 2. I don't like fighting these guys. I think they're cheap, they're way too fast, they're overpowered, and I never enjoy fighting these guys. So I'll show you the technique that I use to deal with these guys. If you don't want to do the technique I'm doing, which will save you a lot of hassle, but if you just want to fight these guys straight up, I would recommend trying to do Azuna drops with the Dragon Sword. But these guys appear on hard mode and up, so you should be familiar with these guys if you're on Master Ninja. So here he is right here. He's got a very long health bar. He's essentially a boss. So what you want to do is get up to this area where I'm going to go to right here. And you can even do a wall run backwards there, which I'll show you in the trial. But just get up here, grab the Golden Scarab. It's going to interrupt you. Press... All I'm doing here is X attacks. So you kind of have to time this right, and there's going to be a lot of times when he... sometimes you're just going to be hitting, and your combo is going to take too long to finish, and then he'll have the edge, and then he'll jump up here a little bit too fast. If that happens, just keep your guard up, drop down, and then make him chase you, and then just come back up here really quickly. So this worked out really well for a while, and then just watch what happens. See, just stuff like that will happen. Just always keep your guard up. And this technique is very safe and very efficient too. So make sure you have your Lunar up to level 2, which is the highest we can get it up this far into the game. It's also, the Lunar is going to be very helpful in the Fiend challenge too. The reward for the Fiend challenge is, spoiler alert, Spirit of the Devils. So, and you could also get a ton of money in it, but you'll need to bring pretty much every single item. You'll need to max out your inventory of items because it's very challenging. What I was saying with the Dabalacro is that earlier I can do this Fiend challenge without having to use any Talismans of Rebirth with the Dabalacro, because it's very helpful. And you could just murder all these guys, but you just can't get it in this game. Not right now, anyway. I think you have to get it later in the game, like in Chapter 8 or so. And I didn't want to, go too many chapters ahead and then come all the way back here. And I believe he gives you 5,000, or maybe 10,000. I think I pull up the screen here. I was curious about how much he gives. He gives 5,000. Yeah, he gives 5,000. So he's going to give us the Armlet of Potency, which increases the damage you do from kick and throw techniques. I've always said there should be an armlet that lets you have 2 armlets equipped. That'd be nice. Anyway, we have the incendiary shurikens, so we could go upstairs now. Okay. I did a lot of backtracking and a lot of grinding for money. I would highly recommend that. You could do this battle up here. I think I don't do it though. Yeah, this battle, I don't like fighting that battle. Also, the battle by the table where you insert the Holy Grail, or the Book of Eons. One of those two things. You don't have to do that fight either. You'll see it spawn up here. I'm going to do this room up here because I know that my items are maxed out. My potions are maxed out, so I'm going to do this fight. Use a couple items and grab those items on the rails over there. So here's the safe. Remember don't forget to grab the Raptor of Deity right here, right next to the table. And once you do the safe puzzle, then we're going to be ambushed by cat fiends and those flying wizards whom I really hate. And I honestly don't know too many good combos to do against them because they love to evade your flying swallow and your Azuna drop. So normally I'd try to press XXY or use magic, or better yet, use incendiary shurikens. Better yet, we have cats, red ninjas, and these flying guys. Believe it or not, I've done this room one time without taking any damage. It was on a lower difficulty, but the enemies were the same, I believe. I think it was on... It might have been on very hard, but it's tough to not take damage here. It's really hard to. So peg all these guys with incendiary shurikens, definitely. And I knew I was going to get hit here, so I was going to use an item. The cats... about the cats. You can Azuna drop them. Their friends sometimes like to fly at you and cancel out your Azuna drop. Guillotine throw works really well. I mean, you're going to see me guillotine throw a lot on the trial. The trial's tough. It really is, and I would recommend that you do the trial. It's going to give you another flame in your key gauge, and you need every advantage you possibly can on Master Ninja. And even if you think you can't do it, just keep practicing. It took me a long time to do it, honestly, you guys. I thought, since I've already done it on Sigma, that I could just, use the same techniques, but the same techniques don't apply since I can't use the weapon that I was accustomed to using, namely the Dabalacro. So, it's a couple of potions here and a Golden Scarab. So just dangle over the ledge and then press down and A. So this should be the low potion. It's better to get these first, so you don't have to... The jumps actually work really well, so... Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is the Fiend challenge in the video, but if you don't have enough items and such like that, see this fight here? You could actually stand on the threshold of the battle, like right where the line is, and use lunar attacks, take those guys out. takes a long time, and I just don't like to do it. They fade away anyway, and they disappear. So here's the Life of the Gods. Should be number 11. Okay, now we're going to go to the Fiend challenge. It's in the archives room over here, and just get really prepared to do some skillful fighting here. It's very tough. I'm going to put the karma screen up, and watch the way I go up the other wall up here off this bookcase. If I can line it up properly. See? And then get your charge going over here. And the way this is different from Sigma is that I got into a really good groove of having just one cat run up and then one red ninja run up at a time. There's 60 of each here. And the best advice I could really give you is, don't stay down in the main room. That's suicide. Just keep coming up here as much as you can and getting your UTs with the Lunar at level 2. XXY to do that move right there. Charge and attack. If you can't get an attack, if you're getting overrun, my advice to you would be to drop Nimpo. If you don't have any Nimpo, you're just gonna have to go get, like I said, get all your items maxed out. And if you ever need a breather, just go up to the little ledge up there where the Golden Scarab was. You'll be seeing me do that very frequently. I'm trying to do it right now, actually. If I can get these cats out of the way. You're only fighting 3 enemies at a time, though, at any one instance here. So, see, I'm trying to get up here, and then once you get up here, I've killed a red ninja with a windmill shuriken one time, and it can be done. It's just that they like to block it quite a bit. So, I mean, if you could take out a couple guys from time to time up here from relative safety, well, it's pretty much you're guaranteed to be safe up here. No one's ever going to come up here. So I think I'll probably just discuss a few things and then just let this play out without me talking about it, because it is pretty repetitive. I'll just say everything I know about this part. Yeah, you're gonna get overrun here. That's the main thing. You need to build up control enough so that you're not overrun. That's probably the best advice I can give you. XXY to kill these guys. Also, the guillotine throw is really nice. And the reason you see me do that backwards run up to this balcony over here is because these cats here, they will very frequently just jump all. They'll move all over the place. But the one thing, watch here, this place I'm going to go to over here, if I can get up there. Nope. Yeah, see, I was getting overrun right there. The cats will never jump up here directly. They'll always go around, but the thing about that is that they will jump off this. See how the cats, they have to, see, every enemy has to run all the way over to you, so you can completely manipulate your environment here. And if you've got a couple cats on this little ledge over here, and you're on top of them up there where the Golden Scarab was, just move around a little bit until they jump off the bottom. I'll demonstrate it. I'll show you. When I do it, I'll point it out. I would have the Armlet of the Moon equipped too. Minimize the damage that you take. And a lot of the problems for me was doing charges and getting the charge broken by one of the red ninjas throwing an incendiary dart into me. So I could never really get off, like, when I was doing this in Sigma, I could completely have the situation controlled with the Dabalacro and just stand at the very edge, like right where I am now, and just have all the enemies run up to me one at a time and just, chain attacks. But I can never get into, like, a perfect streak of chaining attacks over here. So I would just have to go up to the ledge up there and just wait around, fire arrows. See, I'm going to come up here now. And this is just a breather. But don't go too, stay in this main area. Don't go all the way over to where the door was that needed to have that dart thrown at it, the exploding shuriken. Because that may have these guys disappear and you'll have to start over. So just stay in the immediate edge up there on the ledge. You can, just don't go around the corner, I would say. So there's 120 enemies like there is in every Fiend challenge on Master Ninja. And you're just going to have to perform well. I thought I could muscle my way through this, but that wasn't the case. I thought I could instill control over the whole situation, but I couldn't. I just had to use skill. And you're going to have to use your skills that you've learned so far. All the skills. Bring them all to the table. And you might not get a victory until maybe your 10th try, but it'll feel good when you do get that victory. See these cats jump off? I also experimented with trying to get to buy the Unlaboured Flawlessness, but it's kind of weird. The game won't let you purchase any more upgrades beyond 20,000, so it's weird. You cannot use the... Pretty much, you only have a few choices for weapons here, really. I mean, you could use a Dragon Sword or this, or the Lunar. It's probably the only choices you really have for a serious player who knows how to work this game. And also, this trial, it only exists before you kill Alma. So if you kill Alma, anytime you come over here, this trial will be null and void. It won't exist. So you kind of have to do it now. And see how I got overrun? I was just waiting for... I just like to wait for the cat. See the cat? That cat just jumped off. If they're not jumping off, just move around a little bit. So pretty much we're looking for the cats to just jump off this area so we can just kill a red ninja real quick and then use his essence to kill the cats. And then XXY for combo hits of these cats really works well. What else to say? Yeah, this just goes on and on and on until you get 120, and it's just going to take you some time. And you know, I'll stick around until I get 50 kills, just in case I see anything else. Yeah, you're going to fall off too. Just bear that in mind. And then just always wall run back this way, get on landing charge, and then build up your charge, and then wait for these guys to come. See, it's really nice if you can kill 3 guys, but even 2 is fine. But that should be it. I mean, if you have any questions, let me know. But I will stick around for a few more minutes. The cats are extremely deadly. I had the Armlet of the Sun equipped to deal more damage, but that only made me take extremely high damage hits from those cats. Those cats are really bad. It's just a hard combination of enemies. And on Sigma, it was all red ninjas, and then it just worked out differently. Check my guide, my Sigma guide. In this chapter, it has this whole trial. But anyway, I'm going to see you guys when I get 120 kills. Okay, so now we got the Spirit of the Devils. Gonna definitely apply that. And I hope that you did that trial. It's very tough. But you shouldn't, even though you have to spend a lot of money to get a lot of items for that, you'll make a lot of money. I think I made about 55,000 essence for all that. So definitely go back and save your progress. And then we're going to be doing some running from the boulder. So just put the book up here and then drop down. And then make sure you didn't buy any incendiary shurikens because they're free down here. So just dispatch the bats, get your free shurikens, get the box and the golden scarab, and then save your progress. And by the way, once we get to, you see how there's a save point here. There's another one after this, the whole running from the boulder. Even if you go to the next save point and you do the whole boulder sequence, you can go back the opposite way. So even if you get to the next safe statue, you can swing on the ropes, and essentially, you see how we're going this direction? You could actually go back all the way up. You can climb from the bottom where the Test of Valor, or not the Test of Valor, the Fiend challenge is. For this though, wall running, since you can't dash jump, you can only jump, do your wall runs. You go considerably faster if you sprint via the walls here. But you could literally swing on those cables and run up this to the area where below the monastery was. So I never knew that. It's really funny actually to run the opposite way here. I never thought you could, but I tested it out. You sure as hell can. So anytime you want to go back up there, because there's no store. There's no store for the rest of this level, I don't believe. Is there? No, there's no store. In Sigma there's a store, I think at the base of this whole place. But I'm going to show you how to kill the sliding imps with immunity over here. And then there's also a very long sequence in the ritual room where I'm going to be killing a lot of undead monsters, and I'm going to have that footage. I think I'll just leave it in real time, but I won't speak over it. I'll just leave it because it's extremely repetitive. I didn't even know about this either, but in the ritual room where you acquire the Holy Grail, in the next chapter you can go back to the ritual room, and there's a Fiend challenge. So that Fiend challenge is going to be at the beginning of the next video, and you get a Lives of 1,000 Gods for doing it. And it's a very easy trial too, so take advantage of that. Now these imps here, you really got to watch out. They do that sliding move, and then they grab you, and it takes a lot of damage away. Plus, you can't get out of it. So these enemies are the lackeys for a lot of the bosses. And they're pretty much the highest version of this particular creature. They go through quite a few upgrades during the course of the difficulties. That move right there, very very easy move to get caught in. But we will be facing some more of these guys, and I'll show you how to use like an invisible barrier down below where the enemies won't cross the line. It's really funny. I discovered it a long time ago when I was playing Sigma by myself. I mean, I found it on my own. I didn't see it anywhere else. Anyway, so that area is where we're gonna fight the Bone Dragon when we come back up here. So here are these. I guess these things are called hornets. I'm not really particularly sure. Just block. They can't hit you if you block. They don't do any guard breaking moves. So just block and then do XXY on them. That should kill them. Don't really get too overzealous either of doing UTs on these guys. A lot of the times it'll miss because they're aerial enemies, and they fly around all over the place. So these jumps up here are just atrocious. When we go back up to do the Bone Dragon fight. But I am going to grab this Golden Scarab and the Life of the Gods. So we pretty much just need to take care of these hornets. And there's the Life of the Gods right up here. There's a save point over here. Down below, actually. So I'm just wanting to kill these hornets. Then we're going to be dealing with some more sliding imps. So a lot of the sections in this level are just very repetitive, but you can make a ton of money on it. So here's a save point down here. Save your progress. Jump on down here. Now, equip the lunar, and the line that these guys don't cross is like right where I'm standing. See, they won't attack you if you're behind that line. It's really bizarre, but you know, take it. A lot of that, it happens a lot in this game where it's like that. Sometimes you will have to engage these enemies though to make them come up to you. And sometimes like that'll happen because there's like a rail on that little cliffside. But coming back up is very tough. To get back up to the Bone Dragon. Because the jumps are horrible, and you have those zombie archers hindering your progress, and the jumps. There's no rails on the platforms like you would expect, because this game does a really good job with putting invisible rails on platforms, so you can't just walk off the edge of platforms like a very proficient game should do, and this game does do it. But there's a couple times when they don't do it, and it's really inconvenient. So like here, I'm standing here, these guys aren't even attacking me. I think there's 12 of these guys. You could probably make about 10,000 off these guys if you do a UT kill on every one of these. But do make sure you conserve your incendiary shurikens and your inferno. Because dealing with those zombie archers, just don't use any of those items that I mentioned because it's one of those things you're going to be throwing your controller across the screen. It's so aggravating, that situation, and also the little platforming before the Bone Dragon. It's just abysmal. But we're going to go get the Holy Grail pretty soon, and then I'm just going to leave the fight as it is in just real time, and you could watch it, but I'm not going to speak over it because all it's going to be is me UT killing wave after wave of guys. So I think I use a dragon sword on all the fights. You may want to experiment with the Vigoorian Flail. I will say that in the beginning of the next chapter you'll have the Flail, provided you pick it up, of course. And you could go all the way back up to the Monastery and upgrade that Flail to level 2, so you can do the Cremator move, which is pretty helpful on the zombies. And just stock up on items if you want to, because there's no store down here. There will be a store at the beginning of Chapter 7, the next chapter. But the store, we cannot access any store until this whole ground is going to fall away, and we're going to be able to descend a little further down the hole, down this pit. And all these are great opportunities to make a lot of money, because you will need a lot of money. The next chapter is very hard. We have a difficult mid-level boss and a difficult boss. The mid-level boss being Hydrocubus, who isn't hard by himself, but he's got the Cat Fiends, lackeys, and those guys are killer lackeys to have with that guy. And then Alma, everyone knows she's tough, but I'll show you how to deal with her in the best way possible. And we also have that Fiend challenge in the next chapter, so a lot of stuff coming ahead. Don't forget to get this Golden Scarab right over here. The reward for giving Miramasa 15, you should have around 15. He'll give you a low magic potion for 15, which is $5,000, equivalent of $5,000. Yeah, kill all these bats. Make sure when you go up that ladder, though, you've killed all the bats, because you can get hit while you're going up the ladder, and you can't jump off of it because it's like a little cutscene, but you can get hit. It's crappy. So there's the flail. We're going to go up here, do the helmet splitter on this pressure plate. Now we're going to have these enemies here. These guys are tough. These guys are like the lowest tier of up like the evolution between these guys and the pincer fiends that I was just fighting a minute ago. It's like these guys are the lowest tier. The other guys that I was just fighting, those are the highest tier. And these guys are giving me a lot more problems because they'll move right out of the way of all your hits, especially the Azuna drop. It's hard to get an Azuna drop on these guys. But I got one right there, fortunately. So I would recommend chaining UTs or ETs and guillotine throwing. See, they're so evasive. I think their AI their difficulty is increased on this mode because these guys are not this evasive normally. And a lot of times that'll happen when you're charging and then they're underground. And then you know they're going to pop up, so you have to release your charge, and then you miss, of course. So these should be the last set. This should be the last set of guys here. I don't even know why I fought these guys. Then after these guys, we're going to go into that room and get a box with some goodies in it. So you see how there I moved the left analog stick to target that other guy behind me. Okay, so go ahead and go in this door here, grab the treasure chest. This room's going to be filled with enemies when we come back, so just beware of that. And then we're going to grab the Grail, and these are mandatory fights in here, both the Hornet fights and the zombies. But when you come back in here and go through that hall, you don't have to fight those enemies if you don't want to. It's going to be a hall full of enemies and a couple, like 4 dinosaurs mixed in with everybody. So remember, on these guys, just block and then press XXY, or try to do the Azuna drop or the Flying Swallow, whatever you want to do. Then I will see you after this. It'll be boss time. Okay, now that we've killed everything, now prepare for some really bad times up here. You see that my incendiary shurikens in that little edit there went from 15 to 0 because I was throwing daggers at these guys and I got pushed off. Of course, if you get pushed off, these guys respawn forever. So what you want to do is, I even had to use a Talisman of Rebirth over here because I got knocked back. Getting knocked back like that is the single most infuriating thing that happens in this entire game, these archers. These guys should not be placed here. It's so bad. It's so cruel. It's like in Ninja Gaiden 2, those archers in level 1 when you don't have a bow and you're trying to cross ledges, that if you fall into the ledge you get swamped by IS ninjas. It's horrible. So also, remember these platforms here, there's no invisible railing on them, so you could just walk off the rail or walk off the platform and have to do this whole thing over again. But 3 daggers will take care of those guys though. So okay, so now we're going up here. We're going to fight the Bone Dragon, but we have even poorer platforming coming up here. I hate this platforming. It's so bad. It always takes me like 20 tries to get up here. And we have to mess around with these bats too. So the Nimpo I would recommend for the Bone Dragon is the Fire Wheels. It works a lot better than the Inferno. You're going to have Hornets while you're fighting the Bone Dragon, but they're not going to constantly be there. And these jumps coming up are pretty fucking horrible. You see that little white line in the center? I think that's kind of a cue for you to go on it, but I don't know. You guys, if you're having trouble, just try to do what I did right there. Anyway, we're going to place the Holy Grail over here and then fight this boss and be done with this chapter. Sorry it was long in coming, but as you can see, it's over an hour and it's very tedious sometimes. So we have Hornets. So fly. Okay, you cannot fall off this ledge here, I don't believe. Try not to get eaten like I did right there. Thought I was going to get killed. So he's going to slam his arm onto the platform, and you're supposed to just hit his arm until you hit all the bone off, and then it goes to his muscle part underneath. So just like do the Zuna drop combo, and then do the Fire Wheels, then jump when he does his tail attack. You cannot block the tail. I mean, you can't stand there and block. You'll get hit. It won't even like break your guard. You'll just get hit. I don't really believe in that, but I mean how it's designed like that. So just do the Azuna drop. Take care of the lackeys with Nimpo or daggers. Daggers work pretty well on these guys. I didn't have any left though. I mean, he's pretty simple. I mean, watch out for that grab right there. And just quick combos. Try the flails too. The flails will work good on this boss, but I just like to have this weapon equipped. So just don't get underneath his arm when he's slamming it down though. And then just jump here. I don't know how that jump hit me. I think I was too far to the right side. And if you just stand there with the Fire Wheels activated, you'll take a lot of damage from him too. Plus you could hit him simultaneously. That's what I'm going to do here in a minute. So, like how did I get through those jumps but miss the last one? I don't understand that. This piece of muscle right there on his hand, you cannot hit that, so don't even try to hit it. Now he's going to come back. Azuna drop combo, Fire Wheels, and you're ready to go. And we're also almost going to be doing Chapter 7. I'm not really sure how effective UTs are in this guy. I don't think they really do too much. It's better to just do really quick hits on this guy. See, I'm not even really focusing on the lackeys. I'm just, doing the Azuna drop when I can on them. And just remember, just jump over his tail. He'll swing it twice. And he's almost dead. Then just roll away and then roll back once he puts his hand down again. And then a couple more hits and he's dead. And I got the Master Ninja ranking for defeating this level, but there's no way I wouldn't get that. Look how long the level took me to clear. 7 hours almost.